Hi puzzlers! Today is gonna be a really fun day because I'm participating in the Schmidt Puzzle Masters here in Berlin. Today is the individual event where there are 3 preliminary rounds and 1 final round, and per round only 10 people make it to the finale, and there are 40 participants per round. So this will be quite a challenge because I usually end up in the middle of all the puzzlers, so my guess would be that I be around spot 20 and not make it to the next round. The challenge actually is to finish the puzzle in time because you only have 1 hour and 15 minutes to finish the puzzle instead of 1 hour and 30 minutes, which is the usual time for individual events. So yeah, you need to puzzle a little bit faster. And honestly, I checked the puzzles on the Schmidt website and I find all of their 500-piece puzzles quite difficult from the image that they choose and that they have. So yeah, I'm really curious what kind of puzzle I get and if I can finish it in 1 hour and 15 minutes. And tomorrow will be the team event where I also participate, and there we have to do a 200-piece puzzle, a 500-piece puzzle and a 1000-piece puzzle. And this will also be interesting because we never speed puzzled a 1000-piece puzzle together, only 500 pieces. And we didn't practice that, so we just said, okay, let's go participate and see how well we do and see if we can finish all the 3 puzzles in 2.5 hours, which is quite challenging, I think, for us, for sure, because yeah, we don't know how fast we can do a 1000-piece puzzle. And yeah, I'm going to take you with me and let's see how this is going to go. So my friend is already there, she already signed us up, me as well, and I know I'm in the 3rd preliminary round. My friend is in the 1st one, so yeah, alright, let's see. Ah. There it is, that was not far. Okay, pretty much stumbled on it right from the U1 station.
An den ersten Schmidt Puzzle-Meisterschaften, also Puzzle Masters teilzunehmen.
Ich weiß, beim letzten Mal habe ich auch die Leute gefragt, wart ihr bei den anderen Veranstaltungen? Vielleicht mal eine Kurzfrage. Wer war schon mal hier bei uns? Schon mehr Spieler von Schmidt Spiele als Meisterschaft organisieren, sodass wir immer wieder neue Gesichter. Das finde ich toll.
Waiting for my turn, only 30 minutes till I have to go. The first puzzle was really difficult, the second one was way easier, so let's see what I get in the next round. Jan sagte noch mal, jetzt kommt dasselbe dran. Ich so, nee, das kann ich mir nicht vorstellen. Das heißt, du weißt jetzt, wie du rangehst.
Deshalb haben wir hier in der Klassenführung nochmal.
Alright, I'm back home. The first day is over and it was a lot of fun. And to my total surprise, I made it to the final round. I don't know how, or maybe I do, but I think I was really lucky that I made it. People were assigned to the preliminary rounds at random, and I was in round 3 and my friend was in round one. Round one got this puzzle, which I think is really difficult, and there were only 7 people who made it in the 75 minutes, so 1 hour and 15 minutes. And most people didn't finish, so they needed to count the pieces, and yeah, the first 10 people made it to the final round. The second round had this puzzle here. Maybe I'll try to insert a bigger picture, which is so much easier than this one, and many more people finished the puzzle in time. Again, with this round, the first 10 people made it to the next round. And then I was in the last round. We got this puzzle as well. So I don't know why, what they were thinking, why the first and the third round get the same difficult puzzle. Either all the rounds get the same puzzle, or all the rounds get different kind of puzzles. So I don't really know, because in my rounds there were a lot of empty chairs. With all the rounds there were a couple chairs, like 2 or 3, where people I think didn't show up. But I think in my rounds there were like 10. So I think there were only 30 people out of 40. So of course it's much easier to get under the top 10. And I did not finish the puzzle in time. I also did not finish. I had 153 pieces left. And with that I ended on spot number 9, which is quite close. And I think if there were 10 more people in my round, I'm not sure I would have passed. Maybe then I would have ended on spot 12, 11, or maybe 13, and I wouldn't have passed. So I was really lucky that there were less people in my round, and I got really far with the pieces, but again, I did not finish. I think in my round only 3 people finished, whereas in the first round 7 people finished the puzzle. So definitely you can see it's a very difficult puzzle. And I think Tiara won the first round, and it took her 55 minutes to finish the puzzle. So already if the top puzzlers need almost an hour, so of course all the mid-level puzzlers like me, we have no chance to finish it in time. I wish there would have been more time to finish the puzzle, like the standard 90 minutes, because I think a lot of Schmidt puzzles are not that easy, because a lot of these puzzles have a lot of small elements, and they're also kind of in the style of a painting, and I find these really difficult to puzzle because the pieces are more difficult to differentiate and to find the different pieces. But yeah, I made it to the final round, was really surprised. And then in the final round, we got this puzzle. And this puzzle I really liked. It was much easier, and to my surprise, I finished in time. I didn't feel like that. I felt that I was really, really slow, and I didn't think I would make it. But then I was getting close to the end, and only a couple pieces were left, and they still hadn't said anything, like only 1 minute left or something. So I was like, okay, maybe I can finish it. And I finished it, I think, in 1 hour and 5 minutes, around that. And if I'm not mistaken, I ended up on place 24 out of 30 people who made it to the final round. So that puzzle was a lot more fun, and the goal definitely was to finish the puzzle in the time, because yeah, those are not easy puzzles. I'm really happy that I made it to the final round and that I could finish the puzzle at least in time. So it doesn't matter that I ended up quite at the bottom of all these puzzlers. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, so after all, it was a conference room in a hotel where the competition took place, and the tables were quite small. You didn't have much space to distribute the pieces, so it was very, very cramped. I had a board where I was putting some pieces on, like, for example, in this round, I took all the pieces from the water and put them on the extra board and put it aside on the chair next to me, so I had a bit more space. And the strategy definitely was to pick out all the edge pieces, and I did a lot of sorting. Since my friend had done the puzzle in the first round, we had already time to talk about it. And so I had a better idea of what strategy to use. And I also made little piles of all the animal pieces that I could identify, like these pieces, and also the sky pieces I put aside. So I had just parts of the trees and of the flowers left that I just tried to move to the top as much as possible, and then I started to put the edge together and went through my little piles that I had. Like the house was, I think, very easy. I started definitely with the top, and then with the animals, I could put those in quite well. And yeah, once I couldn't find any pieces from the ones I had on the table, I went for the water part here in the middle. And it was more difficult than I thought. I thought it would be easier, but I think this was really good that I worked on this as well, and I could put in a lot of pieces. And yeah, then the time was over, And a lot of the green pieces and pieces from this side were left, and then I needed to count those. The strategy for this puzzle, I also sorted quite a lot. I put aside the edge pieces and the lighthouse and the house pieces as well. They were easy to identify. And I also separated the ocean pieces and the boats you could easily put together. And then I started to put together, I think, the boats and the house and the lighthouse before I started to go for the edge at the bottom. And then I kind of started on the sky. So I like puzzling sky. So this was like, okay, this I can enjoy now, this part, because this is what I'm quite good at. And then the middle part was a bit more difficult. I had these in place, and I think I then went for these orange bushes. And then I also saw this green, which is actually easy to identify. And then I put those in. And then I had this bottom part left with the stones. This was a bit more difficult. I would say that's why I left those to the end. But since there was not many holes left in the puzzle, you could put them on. I could put them in. Like I said, the tables were really small and you didn't have much space to spread out the pieces, and you needed to really manage your space really well. And very quickly pieces fell to the floor, and then the floor was also kind of textured, so you could not really see the pieces on the floor that easily. Even if you knew there was a piece missing, it took quite a while to find the piece again. I'm pretty sure because of the size of the tables, a lot of pieces ended on the floor. The turnaround between rounds was really short. There was only 15 minutes before the next round started. And I was really surprised that they managed to stay in time, and each round just started at the time that it was supposed to. Because since a lot of people didn't finish, I would have thought that it takes so much time to count all the pieces, but that worked really well. So when they were counting the pieces, people already came in from the next round and started to sit down, and then they handed out the puzzles. So they were not covered in a bag or something, so everyone could see the puzzle before they started the round. So you had some time to look at it and come up with a strategy. It's not like with the championships where you have Ravensburger puzzles, where they're usually in a bag and everyone sees the puzzle at the same time. So right, the time starts and you open it, and then you have to be quick to decide what you do. That was day one. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. And tomorrow is the team event. We are a team of 3. And we have to puzzle, like I said, a 200-piece puzzle, a 500-piece puzzle, and a 1,000-piece puzzle. So I'm really excited to see what kind of puzzles that will be. Tomorrow we have 2.5 hours to finish all 3 puzzles, which I think is also quite a short amount of time. So I'm really curious to see if we manage to finish all 3 puzzles in that time. So that was it for today, for the individual rounds, and I'm really excited for tomorrow and we do the team event. So it's Sunday, the team event starts today. I'm really excited to see how that goes, because we never tried a 1,000-piece puzzle as a speed puzzle as a team. So this will be really interesting. But since there are 3 puzzles we need to do, that will be really challenging to finish all 3 puzzles in 2.5 hours. So let's see how far we get today with all these 3 puzzles. The second day of the Schmidt Puzzle Masters are done. Today was the team event. And it was a lot of fun, but very challenging. The 1,000-piece puzzle was very difficult in my opinion. And I think only 4 teams managed to do all the 3 puzzles in the 2.5 hours that you had time to do the puzzles. Let me show you the puzzles that we got. First of all, you got a 200-piece puzzle, which is this Disney-themed puzzle. The puzzle itself is easy. It's just 200 pieces. It's not that big, and you have these sky elements, the water and the sand elements that you can pick out, but the pieces are a lot bigger and a lot thinner, and the cut is not the best one. We had a lot of false fit, and you need to pay really attention whether the whether the pieces actually were the right fit or not. So there were a couple times where the pieces were not at the right place and you need to replace them and figure it out. That was a bit annoying. After all, this was not a difficult puzzle, that was easy to do. And the second one was this panda puzzle. This Panda Family at the Waterfall is the title of the puzzle. That was quite okay as well. While two of us were puzzling this one, the third person was already flipping the pieces and trying to sort a little bit the elements of this puzzle, so that when we were done with the 200-piece puzzle, we could start right away with the edge. And yeah, that's what my friend started with, and I started with the blue pieces of the sky and tried to put this together. And after that, I think I tried to do a little bit of this green area here at the top. And then the panda pieces that were already sorted, I grabbed those. And that was really, really helpful. So I could start puzzling the pandas right away. I started with the lighter areas and put those together, and then continued with the dark ones. The panda on this side here, this dark part, has a little bit of blue. So it was not so difficult to pick these pieces and put those together. And while I was doing the panda, my friend was doing the flowers. So we got the puzzle together quite quickly, and we could put these in and then fill in the holes. And at some point, I think it was when I was pretty far with the pandas, the third person started on the 1,000-piece puzzle, which was this Christmas puzzle. And this is a very difficult puzzle, in my opinion. And like I said, not many people managed to finish it. So the title of the puzzle is Feliz Navidad. And as you can see, it has nine different smaller Christmas themes, but they are so similar in color that the pieces all look the same. And it's so difficult to actually find something. We tried to take out all the edge pieces, and I was doing the edge, even though that might not have been the best decision to do, because the elements are all the same. Maybe it would have been easier to start with the middle part right away. But I think in order for this to work out, we would have needed to sort the pieces from the get-go a lot more than we actually did. And it was more like you were trying to find pieces and grab them and then put them together. After I was done with the edge, I tried to go for this lighter snow pieces, which are brighter than this top snow pieces, which are a bit more purple. But nevertheless, it was so difficult to find the pieces. I felt not really successful in doing so, and the progress was really, really slow. And yeah, in the end, we only did 351 pieces, I think. We finished only a third of the puzzle. So yeah, that was a really, really difficult puzzle, and I'm not sure I would not have chosen this puzzle myself to do, but yeah, that was quite a challenge. And I think I'm going to try to puzzle this on my own in the next couple weeks. But as a team puzzle, puzzles like this are very difficult because you don't have specific areas that you can really pick out and work on, and you need to be able to look at all the pieces or sort them much more than we did in the beginning. So these were the 3 puzzles that we needed to do for the team event. And even though we didn't finish, it was still a lot of fun. And it was the first time that we actually practiced to puzzle in a group of 3 people. And also that we tried puzzling a 1,000-piece puzzle. So we could take some learnings from that we can apply to the next 1,000-piece puzzle that we try. Yeah, so after all, the whole event was a lot of fun to do. And it was well organized. All the rounds started on time. So I was really impressed with that because the turnaround between the rounds was really, really short. I made it to the final round, but had literally no break at all. So I went from puzzling the preliminary round right into the final round and had to do 2 puzzles in a row, which was quite challenging, and I was already a bit tired, and then go for another puzzle. Luckily, the puzzle was not that difficult, so it was okay. I would have wished that we would have had more time to do the puzzles, and I think then a lot more people would have been able to finish the puzzles in time, because the animal puzzle that I had yesterday was really difficult and not many people finished this either. The puzzle from the second round was much better and much easier. I would have chosen puzzles of this difficulty level for all the rounds, and I would have chosen either the same puzzle for all 3 preliminary rounds, or give everyone the same puzzle. Not do the first and the third round with the same puzzle and the second round a different puzzle. That didn't make any sense to me, and I don't really know why they did that. The puzzle for the final round, that was really well chosen. I really liked it. This was not too difficult and most of the people finished the puzzle in time. As for the team events, the 200 and 500 piece puzzle, definitely okay. They were easy to do and were not that difficult, but this Christmas puzzle, I would not have chosen that. I would have chosen something easier. Yeah, so today was only the team event, so it was only the 2.5 hours and there was not too many breaks. You just arrived and could start. So the day yesterday was a bit longer because you had the 3 preliminary rounds and then the final round. So yeah, it was well organized and I just wish that we would have had more time. Also for the team event, I think 3 hours would have been much better, maybe even 3.5 hours. I think then we would have had a much better chance of finishing the puzzle, which would have been more rewarding for everyone because everybody wants to finish the puzzle. And it leaves people, I think, a bit frustrated if you cannot finish the puzzle in time. For next year, I would recommend give people a bit more time to finish the puzzles and do the 1.5 hours for the individual events and maybe the 3 hours or 3.5 hours for the team event. So that was it for the Schmidt Puzzle Masters. It was the first Schmidt Puzzle Masters and I hope they repeat this next year because I would like to participate again. And it was also nice to not always do Ravensburger puzzles and have also an event with a different puzzles. And I was really happy that it was an event in Berlin because so far in Germany, most of the events are somewhere in the middle or south of Germany. So I would always need to travel there. And it was really, really nice that I could stay home and just go there and go home at the end of the event. So I really liked that it was an event in Berlin. I hope you enjoyed the video and that you got a good impression of the event, even though today from the team event, I couldn't make that many videos because we were all puzzling. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and see you next time. Bye!